Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to show how we could do data visualization with FPSO data. We could glean insights to how FPSO could be designed and how it could be used in various business and operation decision making. So let's start with getting the data and the materials. If you go to Google Sites offshore production technology on this Google Sites, go to the content page, click on number 11, section 11, data analytics project. In the data analytics project, you'll see that the data set is derived from this offshore magazine website, and I've also put up a simple viz on the Tableau public for everyone to take a look. And for the data files, these are the set of files that we must download in order to do this project. And once you've downloaded it, you should have this set of files. Okay, there's two PowerPoint slides. First one is on the theory of visualization basics. Second one is the hands-on practice. There's step-by-step instruction. This Word document is on the instruction itself. This Excel spreadsheet is the data set. And then there's some tips, and then of course our syllabus. This 11.6 is a Tableau reference book for our own reference if we choose to have to go deeper into Tableau. And if you click on this Excel spreadsheet, this is what you will see. All right, this is actually prepared from a PDF file on the Offshore Magazine website. So I'll just leave it as it is. I will not go into the details of how this is being prepared, but I'm going to do the Tableau exercise. So once you have downloaded Tableau, okay, you click open this Tableau. This Tableau basically is this this little icon, Tableau. Yours will be the later version. So once you click on it, you will have this page. Okay, so leave it as it is. Do not touch anything. Your screen will be a blank screen. Okay, and at the same time, you open up the Word document. 11.2b Word document will have these two things side by side. And of course, you can look at the video and run through the step by step accordingly. Okay, so this workbook basically is to introduce us the basics of data visualization by exploring this set of data. And before we proceed, I'll just want to go through certain terminology and interface on the dashboard itself. Later, when we are doing it hands-on, I'll just refer to them by name. You'll see my cursor clicking. You just have to follow it step by step. All right. So terms and interface number one. If you look at this, let me zoom in a bit. So if you look at this, you will encounter terminologies that may not be familiar to you. So this is a workbook A, cards and shelves. All these are cards, and the shelves are this horizontal part, toolbar, the view, the visualization view itself, start page, the sidebar, data source page, status bar, how many marks, how many rows by columns, sheet tabs, basically dashboard, story, and sheets itself. So this is the first segment of the terms. Okay, for the second segment of the terms, a little bit more detail. Data connection, basically your data, where your data is coming from, whether it be a file or server. Dimensions on this card. Dimension basically is a category field, basically like colors, blue, green, yellow. That's a category. Year founded, which year. And measures. Measures, they are quantity, meaning like number of oranges, 20. Number of students, 20. All right. Parameters, this have to be set up. There's a legend card. And these are the various view cards. We'll get familiar with them as we go along the exercise. And on the column and row shells, we will see pills. Okay, so for blue pill, it represents discrete field. Discrete field means there's no decimal point. They are whole numbers. And green pill will be continuous field. So in this example, the year and the revenue, they are green pill, meaning they are continuous field. So it's not, there's no fractions, there's no decimals to it. And then there's this show me. When you click on it, there will be many other uh, so-called graph templates for us to choose from. Okay, so let's scroll down. So in the first exercise, we have this question: what is the top classification society for classing FPSO? So this would help determine a possible classification society for the company when we are asked, and we can actually create based on our business data survey of the various FPSO that's class right now as per the year 2017. So let me go to the Tableau software per se. So you have opened this, you have left it as it is. So you need to connect to a data file, which is the file that you've downloaded from Google Sites. So I click on this, I go to the folder that I've downloaded the sites from sites. Click on this data file, I open it. And once I open it, you'll see that this is the data file. There's only one Excel sheet, so this sheet naturally will populate the data. And if you look at the data over here, there's a table. This is the number. The green stands for continuous, blue is discrete, right? So Tableau itself has an artificial intelligence to actually categorize them, whether it be the discrete data or continuous data. So we have the various vessel names. And if we scroll across, see I'm dragging the bar below. The various attributes of the FPSO. Okay, as we scroll along, so you can see that there are 178 rows of them, so about 180 FPSO. All right, so I'll just leave this as it is. Okay, thereafter I'll go to sheet 1. Okay, so now we are at sheet 1. Okay, so if I were to follow the instruction on the right, if you see the instruction on the right, step number 1, drag the classification dimension to rows card. So where's classification? Is one of the dimensions on the left. So I'll click and drag to the rows. It's automatic. So the classification will come out naturally. And next step, drag the number of records measure. So it's under the measure to columns. So number of records to columns. So number of records, if I were to scroll down on this bar, I put it to columns. So as you can see, the various values are out. So null means that there's no data on the Excel file. ABS, this is the highest class number of FPSO, 77. Okay, ABS, LAN, BKI probably done by jointly classed by both. Very unusual, only this one platform. And then we have the rest. The second highest will be DNV, third LR, followed by BV. Okay, so notice this will automatically aggregate quantity using sum. So this over here, if you look at the top, the pill is green, it's continuous, and it just use sum. Okay, so now next we drag the classification dimension to color in the marks card. Okay, so it will automatically generate a color in this manner. And if we were to click on the descending bars icon on the toolbar, okay, descending icon on the toolbar, okay, over here, Okay, they will then list out, in descending order, or in this case, descending order from the highest to the lowest. Right, so that's step number 4. The paperclip is here, just to show everyone again. And then click on the T icon on the toolbar to turn on labels. Toolbar is on top, so the T is over here. So if you click, you'll see the exact number 77, 49, 31, so on, so forth. And next, we click the country dimension to the filter shelf. Okay, and we are to choose Brazil and China, following step number 6. And once you've done that, we click apply and click OK. So in this chart, you'll see the numbers have reduced. So the countries that's over here are basically from Brazil and China. And if we were to right click on the country pill, step number 7, we can show the filter. Okay, so you'll see that there's a drop down with all the countries there. Okay, so notice this will display another card that has all the countries' values, which is this card here, with check boxes on the just beside it. And this allows us to interact with this worksheet. So if, let's say, for example, I click Angola, then the numbers will increase 39. If I unclick, it becomes 32. Okay, I'll leave this as it is. And on the country card menu bar, click on the inverted triangle and click multiple values drop down. So what this means is, this is the inverted triangle. I click on it, multiple values drop down. I click on this. So you'll see that it becomes just this simple filter card over here. And we will right click on the bar of the top classification and choose annotate mark. So on the top classification, ABS, right click, annotate, and I do the mark. Okay, so we are to type in the following, and we can use insert over here to insert other fields that we want. Okay, so the main thing is we want to insert over here top classification, as it is, number of vessels class. So instead of records, change it to vessels class. And once done, we click OK, and you'll see that the words come out, and we can actually adjust the position of this of this marks card. So once just now I've done something wrong, right? I just do a Control Z, or I can do a undo over this at the toolbar. Okay, so number 10, adjust until we can see. So we should get something like what we see over here at the bottom. So this is how we do the first viz, the first sheet. And if we like, we can change the title. Okay, we can change it to classification, for example, of FPSO.